So, hi everyone, it's me again, Bromor. I'm back here at Fan Expo Vancouver. Everything's dying down. The lines are about to clear up for all for the actors and the voice actors. And I have the immense privilege of catching him right before he's leaving.
Yeah.
Joel Perez.
Hello.
Thank you for this interview.
Yeah, of course.
So, Joel, first of all, present yourself. What do you do?
I'm a voice actor and theater actor, and I'm here at Fan Expo for my role as Valentino in Hazbin Hotel.
We have a lot of Hazbin Hotel fans back at home. It was a huge phenomenon, actually. How did you feel when the show went completely viral and became the phenomenon that it is?
Man, it was incredible. I mean, you're a dream of anybody who's creates something is that people find your work and are excited by it and are obsessed with it and love it. So for me to be a part of a show that has such a excited and like fervent fan base is incredible. It's like a dream come true.
So how did you get started in acting and voice acting?
Sure, I started by doing theater. Started in high school, doing a lot of musical theater, and I studied acting in college, and eventually moved to New York City, where I started working in musical theater. I did like a national tour of a musical called In the Heights, where I traveled for about 2.5 years, and then made my Broadway debut in a musical called Fun Home. But throughout that, I was also doing some TV and film, and voiceover work was one of those things that I also auditioned for and did a lot of commercial voice acting. But Hazbin Hotel is my first animated series that I got to work on.
So I'm guessing the musicals helped. It has been.
Oh yeah, I mean Vivian Madrano, who created the show, she loves musical theater and loves Broadway, and it was really important for her that the cast be comprised of actors who sang. So it was such a gift that she was like, no, I want to hire Broadway people.
So how did you get cast in as Valentino in Hazbin Hotel?
Um, Vivian has another series called Hell of a Boss that's on
Hmm.
YouTube, and my buddy Andrew Butler is a composer, and he wrote a song called "The Ballad of Stryker," and he hired me to sing on it. So I was able to sing and meet Viv, and during that session, she thought I was really funny and nice to work with, and she was casting Hazbin Hotel, and made sure that when she was casting it, she got a hold of my audition and made sure that I was considered for the role.
How do you get into character for Valentino? Because I can't imagine like reading so many of his lines without like dying of laughter.
I mean, I'm laughing constantly. There's so many takes that I am just holding back laughter, or like once we cut, I'm then just bust out laughing. And I think it's like, I don't know, I think of the most insane stuff. Like he's Valentino's pure id. He's like sort of like you get to say all the things you wish you could say, but are socially unacceptable to say, and feels very cathartic at times to be able to do that.
Is he someone a character that is like close to how you are in real life, or is he like the opposite of you?
Oh my god, the complete opposite. I mean, I wish I could say that stuff, but I would get arrested, you know? So it's fun to be able to like kind of channel that energy, because that's not something I ever get to do in real life.
The Hasbin Hotel cast is interesting because a couple of the voice actors, they're not at least for the main cast, they're not like known quantities. It's not like you, how you didn't like do like ton of anime before.
No,
Um, and it's something that a lot of fans who are sometimes they get a little bit tired of hearing the same voice actors over and over for even if they're very good. In like all different anime shows, like it's always the same dubbers
yeah.
who keep coming back. And this is something that also has affected like the video game space. And now for example, how people were criticizing the fact that Xenoblade had British voice actors, and recently the new game that came out, the new visual novel, Last Defense Academy, they also used like American expats in the UK who are like theater actors, completely unknown, to voice the characters, and it ended up being very good. How do you feel about sort of trying to find new voice actors in the theater space and not always going back to the same casts from before?
Yeah, I mean, at least in the United States, so much of animation is based in Los Angeles, and that's
Right.
where most production happens.
Mhm.
And so just that's where most voice actors have to live. But it's all kind of changed post 2020, like post pandemic. Like a lot of us, I made a voiceover booth in my closet, and now I live in New York City, and the Hazbin Hotel team lives in LA, and so they can record us remotely, and so it's kind of all upended. So it's nice that they're because of that they can reach out to a community of actors that don't normally get seen for this kind of stuff, and I think it's great. It's so nice to feel like you can finally break into that industry, and I feel like theater people, especially Broadway people, are so suited for voiceover work because you got to be big, you got to be expressive, you have to. It's very musical the way that you think about telling a story with just your voice. Um, so I hope it sets a nice precedent that you can look outside of the norm to cast people who you might not normally cast.
Since you're in the musical world, what are some of your favorite musicals that you've played in yourself?
Oh, Fun Home that I did my Broadway debut in was like my favorite. I was so fortunate to do it, and it's such a beautiful story. I also was in a part of a musical called In the Heights,
Mhm.
and that was the first time I saw like a Hispanic story on Broadway in that way, and that really inspired me to move to New York and like
Mhm.
think like I could get a job here. I feel like there's opportunities for me, so it's very inspirational.
That's interesting because New York is a very obviously because of Broadway, a very important center for musicals. A lot of musicals emerged from there, and they're played over and over and over. When I was in college, I went to watch a production made by the theater club of the Falsettos,
Mhm.
and I feel like in Canada at least there's a in the on the French side, which is like in University of, like in Ottawa where went to law school,
Mhm.
and in Sherbrooke where I'm studying right now. There is a bit of musical fatigue where they're like, oh, we would like to see some like French theater plays as well,
Yeah.
and someone like it's not my words, but someone was writing on Reddit. They're like, all the theater club cares about are their shitty musicals, but but
Well, most musicals are pretty shitty. I mean, they're kind of corny or hard or like yeah. So when you get a good musical that's actually like culturally important and the music's really interesting and it's not just like glitz and glamour, that's actually like oh you can tell a story with that form. It's so special.
a lot of TV shows as well adapting that. I mean, especially when I was growing up, I'm 24, so was doing the 2000s and the early
Mhm.
2010s. High School Musical, Glee, and
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
those TV shows.
yeah,
It sort of it's sort of made a bit of a cliche of what a musical is.
yeah.
Um, how do you think that musicals can innovate in the theater space?
Well, I think musicals are just a form. It's like using music to tell a story in theater, and so historically they tend to be pretty like fluffy and glitzy and just like pretty costumes and dancing. But I think music is so powerful. Like music makes you feel something. A certain chord can make you cry or make you laugh, or it's very powerful. And it's also like transcends language. Like you can listen to an opera that's in Italian, and I don't speak Italian, but I can be moved by it. And so
Mm.
musical theater can also channel that. Like you can use music to move audiences, and so I feel like the more there is space for musicals that are just fun, that are just silly, that are just for that are cotton candy, but then you can also use a musical to like move people.
So, as someone who is newer in this sort of anime dubbing
Yeah.
space or animated show dubbing space in general, is there a franchise or a show where you would like to? You have a pick of litter, right? Where you would like to dub
Pokemon. Oh my
Pokemon.
god, Pokemon as a kid, that was my favorite. I like was obsessed with Pokemon. I would voice all the Pokemon. I would draw all of them. I just want to voice anybody, some random trainer. I don't care, whoever you want. I'm available. Please put me in, coach.
Yeah, I think Pokemon USA is gonna hear you out because I mean the thing is with Pokemon there is like the core cast sometimes like they keep the same voice actors but
Yeah,
there is turnover so you might get your chance, right?
I know, and
Sometimes
it's still relevant. Like it's
of
crazy that
course it got rebooted.
I'm almost 40, and like I grew up loving Pokemon, and now I have like a 5-year-old niece who loves Pokemon, and it's crazy that it's still relevant and it's still getting new fans. It's still always evolving. It's so cool.
And the way that Pokemon games are, because I was introduced to Pokemon through the video games.
Yeah.
The way that the games are evolving, I think there will be more and more voiced lines in the
Totally.
games. So, hey, maybe you should send your CV to Nintendo.
Hey, Nintendo, put me in.
I mean, hey, a lot of people, they got their chance with Nintendo completely out of nowhere. You know, Charles Martinet, the guy, the voice actor for Mario, who just retired.
Yeah.
He crashed an audition and he got the role for Mario.
Wow.
So, hey, maybe you should try that out.
Crash an audition? Okay, let's do it.
We got to find where the next Nintendo audition is.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was very pleasant talking to you. You know, I mentioned before the interview that oftentimes the actors who play the most like sort of egotistical, narcissistic, despicable, villainous characters, they're the nicest people when you meet them. And actually, you know, maybe I can end on a note like how you feel about it, because it's sad because now, because of the internet and people, like they're really unable to compartmentalize like what is real life and what is the TV world and the animation world and so on beyond the screen. There are actors who play villains who get hate. For example, the actor for Joffrey Baratheon in Game of Thrones. He got a lot of hate, and actually that was one of the reasons why he sort of called it quits.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what do you think about the fact that people can't compartmentalize anymore? Because for me, I always thought that if you hate a character after watching a performance, it means the actor is amazing.
Yeah. Same. I think the same. I'm like, cool. If you don't like Valentino, that was like kind of the point. Like he's not a nice guy, and but I also like, you know, I kind of get a kick out of it. It's kind of funny to be like having to explain acting to people, because I'm like, you know, Hazbin Hotel isn't a documentary, right? Like,
hey, you know, there are videos on YouTube, like it's kind of a meme, but it's like how to be more confident like Valentino. It's
sure.
tutorial.
Yeah, what can you learn from him? Yeah.
Well, your line is still waiting for you. Thank you very much, Joel.
Yeah.
I hope to see you again. If I come down to New York, I'll be in Anime NYC, so if you come down there, definitely I'll see you again.
Awesome.
And maybe you can talk about what you've been up to then.
Totally, I'd love that.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Is it